Hello everyone, this is me Kapil Sikka. I welcome you all to Unacademy's YouTube channel UPSC Optional. So friends, as you all know, we are continuing with this PSIR series and today is lecture number 2. And in this lecture, we are dealing with a very important thinker, that is Aristotle. So Aristotle happens to be another important thinker. There are many questions being asked in PSIR as well as in ethics also, because we will see he has written a specific book, Nicomachean Ethics, on by Aristotle also. So that will also be dealing today. And apart from that, in case if you have any doubts, you can raise them on Telegram. I'll be sharing my Telegram channel details as well, so that can be shared over there. Doubts can be asked. So first thing you need to understand is about subscription. Subscription happens to be one of the most important component of your preparation. Why? Because you have daily live classes, you have live test, quiz, structured courses, unlimited access, and all of these aspects are available in one single app. Okay, so what you can do is you can download the app, and then you can basically watch my classes over there, other classes over there. See, all are available, but there is a price for that, and that is very much you can say affordable, I would say. And in that affordable price, you will be getting complete GS. Apart from that, there is a separate package for optional as well that we'll be discussing also. So you can see if you opt for a GS regular program, okay, so that is plus GS. So regular GS will have important components like live classes, few quiz between the classes. Then you can watch those classes in a recorded format as well. All you have to do is for 12 months you have to pay 44,550 by applying my code KS Live. So by applying the code KS Live, you will get it for 44,550. Apart from that, let us say if you want to go for a 2-year format, so in that scenario, 64,800 is the 2-year fee for regular course. And we have a new course for our graduate students also, those who are in first year of graduation. They can opt it for 81,000. For 81,000, you will have 3 months unlimited access to UPSC preparation on Unacademy. But if you want more than that, if you are really interested in doing cracking the exam in very first attempt, in that scenario, you should always go with Iconic GS program. In GS Iconic, you can see 62,550 is the cost you have to pay upfront for your GS Iconic program, and you'll be getting live classes, test series, unlimited practice, structured schedule, personal coaching, daily mains, question answer, study planner, personalized feedback, all for one price, that is 62,550 for 1 year. Do not forget to use the code KS Live. Then if you want to go with a 2-year Iconic, 96,300 is the course price, and 1,26,900 is 3-year price. 36-month price. This is all you need to pay. In case if you want to go specifically with my option, let us say you are really willing to do optional in depth. Okay, so in-depth preparation, answer writing, you can opt this UPSC CSE optional pro package, that you will get for 24,750 1 year, 36,000 2 year, 45,000 3 year. Code is KS Live. But let me tell you, if you opt this 24,750, you will get complete coverage of PSIR, answer writing, previous year, question discussions, model answers, notes, everything will be provided at one single cost, 24,750 for 1 year. Okay, so this is for you one-stop solution. As you can see, this is what we are offering you for UPSC preparation. Now let us move to the important topic, that is Aristotle. Aristotle, as they say, was the ancient philosopher, ancient Greek philosopher, and he's also called father of the political science. Okay, so you can see that he remained the father of the political science. Apart from that, if you'll see that he was one of the greatest thinkers of politics, psychology, and ethics. He was disciple of Plato. Everyone knows that Aristotle is the disciple of Plato, but despite of the fact he had certain differences with the Plato. Okay, so he was a kind of having a different setup, whereas Plato, you will see, was an idealist. Aristotle happened to be a realist, a practicalist to be more precise. So enrolled in Plato's Academy at 17. So born outside Greece, he came to Greece and he joined Plato's Academy. He also was the teacher. Alexander was his student only. So Aristotle has tutored Alexander the Great. Then he founded Lyceum, if you'll see. And then he wrote more than 200 books. Then next is he has also worked upon literary theory, government, and logic. Okay, so let us look deep into his life. If you'll see, he was born in Stagira. Stagira at that time was not part of the Greek Empire. It was a separate empire. As you can see, whole of the Greece modern day plateau was divided into certain empires. Out of which Stagira was one empire, Greek was another empire. So this is where he was born, and he's also called pioneer of human knowledge. He was also expert in dialectics, which he has learned from uh, his uh, his guru, that is Plato, and Plato has learned from his master, from his guru, that is Socrates. Known as father of political science, he studied 158 constitution, but despite of having so much of influence of Plato, he had certain disagreements with Plato as well. So we will see those kinds of disagreements. Then he was also father. He's also called father of biology. Why? Because he has applied. He was very much into studying biology as well, and he has applied some biological classifications in modern in political studies. So if you'll see the organic nature of state, so that is all he has taken from biology, and then he has implemented it on the political science, knitted with political science. Then ultimately after that he has wrote the famous book. He has written the famous book Politics. Then where he has directly deal with the politics and government, in which he has also classified the types of governance, why tyranny is bad, why democracy is also bad. So he has basically discussed these important concepts. Next is, you can see he remains a conservative despite of all the fact being a practicalist. He was also a conservative. Then wrote more than 400 books. Okay, so his view on logic are available on Organon, that is a book you can see. Written metaphysics, written Nicomachean ethics happens to be one of the most important work, which is important for UPSC as well, because that you will be reading in ethics. Over here he has presented the golden mean theory. Then then he has written book on Constitution of Athens. He has studied 150 books. He has basically written book on psychology. So he has written on everything. One thing where he differed from Plato was more interested in giving the rule to a person having specific knowledge. Okay, so over here the idea of PK king, the idea of philosopher king emerged. The idea of you can say training a king for a proper with that proper curriculum was very much essential for Plato. Aristotle was quite different over here. Aristotle used to say that even a person with a common sense can rule. You don't need a specific technical know-how. As you can see in your MPs and MLAs, if they don't have a technical know-how, they can also rule. So this is what Aristotle also used to say, that a common person with a common sense can always rule. There is no issue with that. Another thing is, he was basically he was differentiating the concept of ideas from Plato. Aristotle used to say that matter is very important and idea is not independent of matter. Okay, so whatever idea you have, so that will result into a matter, and through matter you can move forward. Then Aristotle believed in the middle path. Okay, so he believed in the golden mean, golden rule. Apart from this, he always used to have a moderation life. Okay, he never used to be radical. He used to say middle path, something which is in moderate form is very good. Moderate property, moderate wishes, so that is a good life. Whereas Aristotle used to say that property is something not required. So this is what he say, that knowledge and property should be in moderation. Another thing is, Plato always wanted to be perfectionist. As you can see, his philosopher king, after studying for 50 years, then only he was fit for rule. Whereas for Plato, he was more, you can say, he was a practicalist. He was basically believing in the practical idea that person with common rule can always, common sense with all can always rule. So he was a practicable person. He also belongs to the school of teleology. So we'll see what the teleology is. That is theological thing. So for theology, you can see how this theology comes into practice. So you can see theology is something which basically different from deontology. So deontology is something which based upon action. Deontology based upon action, whereas theology based upon the consequences. Okay, so being good character relationship, only thing that matters is consequences. So theology, you can say, are basically his grounds for ethical theory. So telos means the final cause, goal, or an object. So what Plato was of the view, sorry, Aristotle was of the view that whatever you want to achieve, if you achieve that, whatever means you are using doesn't matter. Okay, so only thing is that you need to have a final cause, final goal, or an object that will decide. So if you can see over here, deontology is rule-based view of ethics. It was proposed by Immanuel Kant, Kantian ethics, whereas teleology is basically consequences-based ethics. Whatever consequences we will have. So you can see later on it was introduced and specifically written by Jimmy Bentham, and Stuart Mill also used it, and ultimately the principle of utilitarianism. Okay, so ultimately the utility principle was incorporated. So goodness of badness in case of Kant is decided by the action. Whatever action you take, goodness or badness will be decided. Whereas in theology, outcome will decide. Let us say whatever results you have achieved, if you have achieved the right results, the means doesn't matter, only end matters. So for deontologists, means matters, means and ends both matters. For theological people, only end matters. So this is what is the essential difference. Okay, so in theology, behavior can be considered ethical if it is by goodwill, whereas in case of theology, greatest good of greatest number will sustain. This is what you can see. He also discussed about the idea of, you can say, prudence, temperance, justice, fortitude. Okay, so these are all given by no, you can say these are used by Aristotle. Then apart from that, he also criticized Plato. So he had certain criticism for Plato. Now what are those criticisms? Aristotle has challenged theory of Plato on state. Why? For Plato, state was a mere inorganic factor. For Aristotle, okay, it was an organic uh, aspect. Okay. Another thing, in case of Plato, you can see philosopher king as a head of family. He expect everyone to obey. He's a dictator kind of thing. In case of Plato, he was not Aristotle. He was not asking for any kind of sacrifices. Okay, so he was like, his state is not a family. Okay, it is not a family at all. It is a family of family. So you need to have a family, and then family of family will form a state. He was also aware of the fact that authority of a father is different from authority of a king. So though both authorities differ. Whereas Plato was like, whole state is one family, philosopher king is father of everyone. Okay, so basically his rule will basically connect with everyone. Then another thing, you can see state should try to seek unity. So basically what he was asking, that state should try to seek unity, not through uniformity but through unity in diversity. So Plato was considering more about unity, whereas Aristotle was into more about diversity. He was like, the more diverse we will be, the more families there will be, diversity will be, more and more people will form a state. Clear? So, and this is what we'll be covering today. And as you know, we are running short of time, so we'll be continuing this session on day after tomorrow, that is 15th. So 15th onwards we will be having a class at 10:30 p.m. only, so you can continue with this. So this was just an introduction class, so I just wanted to tell you what kind of aspects you need to discuss in detail over here. So this is what we have discussed, and from next class we will be specifically dealing with idea of state, we'll be dealing with other kinds of ideas, idea of government, and then we will be moving towards Machiavelli. So thank you so much for watching this. Do not forget to use the code KS Live. You will get 10% instant discount. And thank you so much. Let's crack it, guys.